All right, we're going to try this. We'll see what happens. This could be a marathon live stream about to start. Could also be, I don't know, the turning of a new leaf. Short live streams. Yeah, right. Huh? What are you saying? And then you go to jail. All right, let's see what he's got. By the way, we're playing this on 1 1/4 speed, so in the interest of time. Huh? Value creation through dilution. Okay, is this no audio from the video? Is that correct? Can I get a verification on that? Let me see here. Should be, but it's you know. Oh. Well, that is strange. Strange indeed. What about now? Do we have the video? We have the audio from the video now or no? No? Gosh darn it. Did Kenny get me to... Son of a bitch. You know, it might be the same thing. Same one that got CSI. CSI got hacked, in case you didn't know. And, yeah. He got hacked like 3 times. His computer got hacked. His Facebook got hacked. His, you know... whatever, got hacked. Can hear Scott talk. Can hear Scott, not the video. What the hell? What the hell? Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. I know why. Sometimes... All right, now you should hear it.
Managers create value for their companies and for their shareholders. Go back a year ago and go ahead and look at that video. So it just was interesting to me to see the trolls kind of using language that I had used in the past, but attempting to use it against you.
We got it now, right, guys? He's talking about, you know what? I'm just going to go back. Get confirmation that we can hear it. Okay, there we go. Unfortunately. Yeah.
haha. But the thing is, the voices that are coming out and doing that are so misleading.
Okay, he's talking about the voices that are coming out, trolling the dilution or whatever. Okay, disparaging the apes because of the AMC dilution. All right.
And either so ill-informed or intentionally providing their own misinformation that I've just sort of had it. And I'm going to show you the math on why they're wrong, and what kind of value creation was actually served through this dilution, the actual effects of what Adam accomplished with this, and why that's in many ways good for us. And I'm just going to make that about math, not opinion. So we're just going to look at that. So I understand that sometimes the math videos are not as exciting, don't get as many clicks.
So the argument is the dilution is good. I guess this is the good dilution. Okay. Shown through math.
But that's
I can't wait.
We're here to kind of understand what the heck is happening with my investment and what can I expect in the future. Then this is worth it for you. If you're just here for entertainment, then I don't know. Perhaps wait for the next one. But I will say, kind of as a tease for the end of the video, I am going to cover some sort of non-math discussions. A lot going on around Bitcoin and AMC and the SPY ripping and markets and all of that. So I'll kind of give you a few breadcrumbs of where I think we're going, what's next, and through all of this, continue to hear. I have not changed my thesis. I have not changed my point of view. If anything, it's been getting more confirmed lately. So let's go through that. So the first thing is, I saw some trolls trying to hit.
Technically, I don't think we need to watch any more of this video after hearing that. But yeah, I guess we'll give him a little bit here. Table Rock Guy, howdy.
You with this notion of, dilution's like this slice of the pie, which I found kind of funny because it's actually almost a year ago to the day that I posted a video walking you through the concept of dilution versus the concept of value creation. So if you really want to deep dive on dilution and how business managers create value for their companies and for their shareholders, go back a year ago and go ahead and look at that video. So it just was interesting to me to see the trolls kind of use
how about no
used in the past, but attempting
how about
to use it
no
against you. So I want to just hammer a couple points home, just real simple ideas. So when you own a share, that is basically like a slice of the pie, right? Like think of a company's market cap as the overall pie. And by the way, that's an important concept to get. You'll see some people sometimes post things like, hey, how come our share price...
Oh, right. A piece of the overall pie. Well, what is that pie, though? What is the pie? What comprises the pie? I mean, really. It's all the shares times the share price, basically. So those are shares that were issued by the company at one point, right? At one point, they were issued by the company. And at that point, and that point only that initial sale from the issuer, so the primary offering, that's the only time that the sale or changing of hands of those shares affect the underlying company. That's really the only direct time that happens. Otherwise, what do you have? You have third parties exchanging, secondhand shares between themselves, amongst themselves. That's the pie that he's talking about. The pie that he's talking about is the market capitalization in the secondary market, which has nothing to do with the company itself. Nothing to do. And, theoretically, the market will value it fairly, but not always, as we see right now with a lot of things. So this is kind of silly so far. This is very silly. This is upholding a lot of the myths that I don't know. Clearly they're not the same myths that he seems to think that he's busting. But so far, not digging it.
Price is below, I don't know, I'll make this up, somebody like Cinemark. Or you compare to just any other company. And share price, it's a useful a useful metric to look at because, of course, day to day we understand price up, price down, but it doesn't tell the whole story. The actual value of a company, according to the overall market, is what you call the market cap, which is kind of like.
And Model 3 Dude brings up a good point here. Perception of value relative to AMC and how that can be used levered, if you will, to allow the company to raise money at higher value, at higher stock valuations, sale prices in the future. So, I mean, we're not saying it's not, doesn't matter what the price is, but just that the company only gets the money that first time. So yes, they want to, obviously you would think that they would want to maximize that amount, I guess, unless you're Adam Aaron, according to the apes. But anyway, yeah, whole point of the squeeze was to own the float, not to dilute it. Well, okay, maybe they're just trying to make room for more people on the boat. Did you ever think about that? There's, the more the merrier. Load the boat. It's time to average down. All right, here we go.
Like this pie. It's take that share price times how many shares there are. And not all companies have the same amount of shares. So that's why it's hard to compare share price of company A to share price of company B. People look at something called the market cap. So that's this whole pie, and you own a little slice of it. Hopefully, for some of us, you might even own a lot of slices. And so there's this idea of, well, dilution basically takes the pie and does this picture on the right, where it slices it up into more pieces. And so people try to sort of fearmonger against you and say, you're going to own less of the company because your piece is a thinner piece. It got cut up into more pieces. But the point is, what happens if the pie itself becomes bigger? What happens if the market cap, the value of the company ought to...
I don't know how relevant this is now that we have fractional shares also. I mean, you can make the slice of pie whatever size you want. Can you not? So what relevance is this? If somebody only wants to buy $5 of AMC and it's valued at $5, okay, they can buy one share. If they want to buy $5 of it and it's valued at $25, you buy a fifth of a share. That's what people do. So are people really going to buy something or not buy something because of the price? Essentially, that's not a concern the same way that it has been in the past, because there are these fractional shares, or ETFs even for exposure in a different way. But what I'm saying is, the piece of the pie pieces can be whatever size anybody wants them to be already. So, I'm not sure.
So I'm going to give you
why this matters right
now. Then
now.
We're going to go through and say what should have happened to our shares since that last earnings call when dilution was announced. We're going
to go down the road of what should have happened. I thought this was supposed to be based on math. He's going to show through math what should have happened. But I mean that's not really in the realm of math. Then it's in the realm of conjecture. Speculation, revisionism, but we're not reporting facts now. We're going off the fact train if we're talking about should have, what should have happened. I mean, what should have happened is people should have taken profits when they had them. How about that? Okay, that's what should have happened. That's because that's something that you can control. And you can say, oh, I should have done this. Next time I will. That's where should have can come in, but not talking about the market. Oh, the market should have done this. Yeah, well, it didn't. So who cares? I mean, essentially. This is the problem with being so ignorant about what you're trying to talk about that you can't really distinguish or differentiate between what the textbook says and what happens in the real world. And I've seen this, we've seen this for almost 3 years now with this crap. People who've never heard of any of the shit that they're talking about. They've never heard of it before, but they're telling you about it. They're schooling you about it. And it's like, well, yeah, clearly you're reading that from Investopedia, and clearly you couldn't just tell me what it means, off the top of your head. Now there's ChatGPT, so whatever, I guess. Smart investors ate their slices before they went bad. Boom.
Hard math on that. But so let's say you had, 1/8 of a piece of a pie, and that pie was worth $16. Again, you can go deep dive on all this from a video a year ago if you like, where I go through a lot more and kind of how this all works and how managers think. So you would have this $2 share, right? Each piece would be worth $2. And now this pie gets sliced into 16 pieces and you're like, oh, crud, I only have 1/16. But what if the pie was now worth $40? A manager did something that provided future cash flows, provided value, perhaps paid off debt, saved interest, added to earnings. These are all things that add value to a company, and that value should be reflected in the shares. This idea of market cap, like I said, is the overall value of a company, and not just its value today, but the value.
Well, let's stop right there.
Talk a little bit about
Jesus Christ. This is so stupid. Well, the company does things that they think are going to add value and that people are supportive of the company already or have a vested interest in the company, like shareholders. They think that it should add value. But ultimately, what am I going to say? It's the market that decides whether value will be assigned to whatever the thing is. And, do I disagree that the market doesn't seem to care about selling popcorn in a fucking grocery store, or the fact that we're now selling white label candy? Not we, but, they, okay, fine, they are selling white label candy with AMC's name on it rather than whatever the fuck generic ass shit that was white labeled to some other bullshit brand before. I mean, can we say the market's wrong for not making AMC $60 a share because of that? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not when you're talking about an aggregate, type of valuation, a market derived valuation. And the thing you can say about AMC, here's something positive about AMC, okay? You don't hear us talk about these types of things a lot because there aren't that many to talk about. But here's one. AMC was less affected by all this nonsense that's going on in the market right now, all this irrational exuberance that we're getting back, right? All these all-time highs and all that kind of stuff. All this, transitory mania, let's call it. AMC, stable as a table. It didn't give in to that. It held itself where it was because that's where the market put it. That's where the market is trading it. That's where it belongs right now. Compared to everything else, I think that, it may not be that controversial to say that some things are a little skew. Some things might be, some things might be undervalued. Other things are, kind of like AMC might be priced right for right now. Other things may be overvalued. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Some things might be a little bit fluffy, but AMC isn't. And that's something to be proud of. So, pat yourselves on the back, shareholders, I guess. Anyway, yeah. So, it's cool that this guy thinks that whatever thing should add value. But I mean, come on,
that. I've told you for a while we're going to start talking about the sort of the net present value of money or the time value of money. We're going to hit that topic a little bit today. So I'll kind of start planting that seed more, and someday perhaps I'll do a deeper dive on that as well. But anyway, let's say some manager did a good job, added value to the company, and now the pie is actually worth $40. So yeah, your share, your slice is thinner, but it's still overall bigger. That 1/16 piece would actually...
Is it even really what managers do?
So even though you have a thinner slice, it's actually worth more than it used to be. Okay, so just kind of have this concept of dilution doesn't have to be bad. If it adds value, if a manager makes smart decisions, then your shares should go up. And so the reason that too is we need to start evaluating, let's be real. I've been here for 3 years. Most of you have been here for quite a while. We have been on a journey of learning what the market is doing and when the market is sort of manipulative and fraudulent against certain companies, right? So we've always learned that. But I'm using that word because we need to evaluate what the math says the shares should have done versus what the market did. And if the market isn't sort of matching
you can't do that. That's an invalid type of analysis. I'm sorry. Because there will always be a subjective element to it. There will always be a no, I won't take it for that price. Nope. But if it comes down to where I'll buy it. Or hell no, I'm not selling it for that. They should understand that much of it, right? So how can you say that this is what the math says should have happened when you're talking about something that is, okay, I have my hard limit. It's not it's a number, so I guess it is math, but it's not based on math. It's not based on a formula necessarily. I'm not doing a time value of money equation calculation. I'm saying I'm not paying more than $5 for this fucking stock, whether you fucking like it or not. And I got no math to back that up. What then? Because essentially, I think that's what you got. That's how it should be looked at. I don't know why this other participant wants to buy or sell at that price. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because they're either going to do it or not. The why is irrelevant. So that's sort of relative to the irrelevance of that, if you will. This is the problem with late night live streams. So sometimes, anyway. So yeah, I'm curious to see how we're going to do that.
Something isn't logical. Something isn't making sense. And between sort of the math and the what's not, what the math says the shares should have done, and when the market is sort of manipulative and fraudulent against certain companies, right? So we've always learned that. But I'm using that word should because we need to evaluate what the math says the shares should have done versus what the market did. And if the market isn't sort of matching the math, then something isn't logical. Something isn't making sense. And between sort of the math and the what's not making sense, we can kind of start to infer a lot of things. And also then it's a question of, does it sort of invalidate our thesis or not? Because that's what the trolls are trying to do to you. And even people who used to claim to be apes are just all over this notion of, well, the reason the stock is down is because of dilution. Let's kind of just debunk that a little bit today. First of all, I told you a little bit about the time value of money. Many of you have heard I worked at a very large company, a Dow Jones company. And at one point even
McDonald's,
leading strategic projects where I'm presenting to the CFO of the company. And when you would present to kind of ask for investment money, every company has something kind of called a cost of capital.
Chief fryer operator.
Right here. Companies use a cost of capital. We used to use 12%, so that's why I've kind of picked that number here. Different companies will have different amounts and probably even changes as the overall macroeconomy shifts. But 12% is kind of a nice number that a lot of companies might use. Some will use a higher number, some will use lower. And what that is, it's kind of like a threshold or a hurdle. Basically, if you can't beat that rate of return, then a project won't even get green lighted. And so what you often do is you look out like 10 years or 20 years. And so I'm going to show you an example here. And what you do is you just discount future cash flows. So it's this idea of every year, and it's kind of a compounding discounting. So you go like, all right, actually, let me even just back up and make this really easy to understand for all of us. If I said to you, hey, I'm going to give you enough money to buy bread.
Make it real easy to understand. That's what he's doing right now.
Amount of money, and you're going to buy a loaf of bread in a year from now. You might say, well, hey, hang on. That loaf of bread is going to cost more in a year, so this money doesn't go all the way. It doesn't buy me that loaf of bread in a year. That's just inflation, right? You guys understand that easy. This is the same idea. $1 a year from now is not the same as $1 today, and $1 20 years from now is very much not the same as $1 today. So that's what business leaders are doing. They're just saying, okay, I'm going to invest this money. It's going to bring in future cash, but because it's in the future, I need to discount it. I got to bring it back and kind of talk about it in today's dollars and decide if that's worth it to me or not. And so there's two things they're doing. They're just looking at what is the overall value in today's dollars of some decision I'm making. And then they're also saying, is that enough? Is it passing this sort of like strategic threshold I have at my company, like a guideline? So that's all I'm talking about. It's not really that complicated. calculated. And someday maybe I'll kind of show you how that math works. But and by the way, if you just have Excel, there's kind of like standard formulas in there that'll just do it for you too. Okay, but in this example, I'm saying, what if you were to invest like $1 million? Or sorry, you were to invest in a project that would bring back $1 million a year, and you use some 12%.
I'm just kind of going faster this part until he gets back to the relevant.
And so you can see, like, already
what he feels is relevant, I guess.
It's not worth $1 million anymore because I applied this 12% discount to it. It's only worth $880,000. And so then if you you'll just see every year you just keep rolling that out and applying the discount farther and farther and farther, and so that money becomes less and less. You can see, I'm getting $1 million in year 20, but it's only worth $78,000 in today's money. And so then if you add all those up, you can see in this example, you're getting $6.75 million in today's money, today's dollar. So what I'm effectively telling you is, in this case, if you were to use this 12% and you said I'm getting $1 million back a year from some decision I'm making as a business leader, then really that's worth not quite $7 million. So the next 20 years of cash flows is worth not quite $7 million in today's rate. So now that you kind of have just a quick breeze by of the time value of money or the net present value of money and how business leaders look at it, I'm going to use that to show what should have happened with this dilution in our debt payment. There's one more bit of, housekeeping let's cover. So the sources I'm giving you, and this is all feeding into the numbers I'm about to show you, so that you can go fact check me, so that we don't have to, trust me bro kind of stuff. I am using 4 quick sources here. So you can see the bottom 3 are all 8Ks you can go find.
Yeah. You're getting the sources from the right places. That's cool. I mean,
debt was paid off.
I see where he's going with this.
What's the price per share?
Maybe some people see where he's trying to go with this, but it's not how it works.
Million shares.
The
paid off
stock price is not
plus another $500,000
directly variable
for $7.67 a share. So you're going to see me show all of these, but I'm just taking them straight from the filings. This one,
the amount of debt that they owe or when it's owed.
See that on AMC's investor relations site. So the 3 8Ks you can go find, the press release you can go find. You can fact check me on all that I'm sharing with you. Okay. So now we're just going to kind of go through the facts. And like I said, we're going to really just stick to the facts here. This is not even math. This is just the filings. And so you're going to kind of get a little bit of illumination from what happened, what the transactions actually were, what kind of value they should have added to the company. Then we'll go through that math and kind of back it up. And so you'll even get
at the end of the day, there may be a calculation, but
sort of paying here to
go look at
shares. So the first one,
some other companies and
see that
tell me
shares sold.
Tell us
$350 million of cash, but let me kind of show you why I'm calling this.
You're going to say that what should have happened.
What happened is they raised the 350, but they went out and
demonstrate that it worked, that it does happen that way.
Because having cash in
first,
company, there's value to the cash. That value should be reflected.
This is all invalid.
So that's one. Then they paid down this debt, and you might
all invalid.
Say, how come it doesn't say then $300 million of cash? Isn't 350 minus 50 300? Yes, it would be. But you then go back and remember on that press release they got a discount. They paid off that debt at about a 20% discount. It was 19.67%. So if you apply that discount, then it only cost roughly $40 million.
This completely ignores the fact that...
so that means then the cash that they're left with after paying down $50 million of debt.
What are the trends and
so we're going to need to count all of
in the industry through what is the future
reflected in your stock
expectations. That's really what...
$50 million of...
That's what you're talking about here.
40 to do it. So that...
It doesn't need to be valued to really match today.
Anyway, the interest paid...
it's an aggregate expression
that was owed. And so effectively, what you get
of some future value, 3 to 30 months, variably.
$7.51 a share. So there was a debtor who kind of said, all right,
this is all invalid.
You want a share, we'll let you pay off this $50.5 million effectively. The $50 million of principal and the $500,000 of interest. And then remember, keep in mind, because this is going to matter here in a minute, that's actually, it's not just we paid off $50 million today, we're also saving $5 million a year on interest in the future. So there's today's action, but also there's a future value that we need to kind of assign to this.
What if the market expects that the company will be unprofitable, and will need to either
quarter that you're going to see in the bottom line
do more dilution,
because, any dollar saved on
or issue more debt
to the bottom line, outside of taxes, but it's bottom line savings. It's just cash that no longer goes out the door. Okay, then on December 12th, there was another, let's call that $1.5 million. Didn't raise any cash there. That was just debt payments. All the rest of these 3 are going to be paying off debt. So there was another $12.25 million of debt paid off, another $500,000 of interest paid, and then an effective share price on that one was over $8. So whoever that was who said, yeah, sure, you can have my debt, they sold their debt at $8.
And of course, the amount of interest paid was estimated
every year. Now,
so we don't even know what the rates will be.
Interest we no longer are going to have to pay. Okay. By the way, the reason I'm saying that, so these are on the, if you looked at the details, they're on some debt that's due in 2026. All of these were on the same, what I call tranche of debt, the same bucket of debt. And it's a payment in kind, second lien that is kind of a 10-12% toggle. And so I'm just using the lowest amount there, this 10%. So we might even be saving more interest than what I'm showing you, but I'm just making myself troll proof, FUD proof. I'll just go ahead and be conservative and use the 10% interest rate. So that's what you're seeing here. Okay, then we had a third round on the 15th for
FUD proof
million shares. That's the one that paid off the 36 million bucks and a little bit of interest, not much, about 30,000 bucks. It was like actually 27,000 bucks at a price of $7.67 per share. Okay, so you're hearing all of these.
I'm about to speed this up.
We're giving AMC basically far more per share than what the market has priced it now, right? That should continue to tell you something. That's going to save us $3.6 million a year on interest. All of these are starting to add up. Just think of kind of a whole Dave Ramsey type of concept. I'm not suggesting whether I support or...
Oh, the Dave Ramsey concept.
You pay off high interest debt, you start to save that money, and that money you've saved you can use to pay off more debt. And you quickly, you start accelerating the rate at which you're paying debt off. And I see I'm starting to do that. All right, shares sold. So then we had another 3.35 that paid off 25 million bucks. And I'm using some math here. So that's the first asterisk we got to get at. So at the bottom here, I didn't see on that one that they didn't show any amount of interest paid, so I just used kind of the lowest rate from the other transactions. How much
God damn it! Whatever.
Okay, so we raised that $300+ million of cash that we still held on to. We paid down $123+ million of debt. Don't sleep on that. That's a big deal. In a few days, we wiped out $123 million of debt. We wiped out almost $2 million of interest. Gone now. The effective share price, if you do a weighted average of all of these, just look up what weighted average that is. The weighted average
123 million.
And remember now we got to turn our eyes to the future and to the actual value of this stock.
Out of 5
All right, so
billion.
We have this $12.33 million a year that we no longer have to pay in interest. That's going to be added to earnings, right? So every quarter, divide that by 4, we got our kind of $3+ million you would add to earnings. All right, so about that dilution, let's talk about this. So, basically,
is it added to earnings or is it just not paid out?
And we had 198 million shares at that time.
Not the same.
That's going to matter. We're going to go through the math using that sort of as a starting point. Since then, we've had 29% dilution, right? So remember, we had this 198 million shares. We added the basically 58 million shares. It's 29% dilution. The stock price is down 41%. I'm showing 6 here, actually, sorry. In the rest of the math, I'm going to use 607. I'm going to actually use our close today. I just hadn't updated that bullet, but close enough, right? So I think it's maybe more like 39% or something, but use 607. So all right, we're down about 40%, but the dilution was only 29%. And that's not even talking about the value creation yet, right? So this is why the sort of...
Oh my.
You can just kind of tell them to take a hike because none of the math is going to add up. So everything that they're saying shows that they either don't understand markets or they're just trying to manipulate you. And either way,
what?
That's not to listen to. All right, so...
Don't understand markets? Is this guy suggesting that this is how every market participant gauges value? That's absurd. That's absurd. No. That's, if there are 10 people trading a stock, there's 15 methods of valuing it that are employed. Come on. Wow.
So here's the key. Don't sleep on this.
I'm going to go back and slow it down because that indictment there was just, it sounded so absurd, but maybe it was just because it was fast. I don't know. Yeah, I do actually. That's not why.
It's 29% dilution.
All right, check it out.
Since then, we've had 20 using that sort of as a starting point. Since then, we've had 29% dilution. All right, so remember, we had this 198 million shares. We added the basically 58 million shares. It's 29% dilution. The stock price is down 41%. I'm showing 6 here, actually, sorry. In the rest of the math, I'm going to use 607. I'm going to actually use our close today. I just hadn't updated that bullet, but close enough, right? So I think it's maybe more like 39% or something, but use 607. So all right, we're down about 40%, but the dilution was only 29%. And that's not even talking about the value creation yet, right? So this is why the sort of dilution fudsters, you can just kind of tell them to take a hike because none of the math is going to add up. So everything that they're saying shows that they either don't understand markets or they're just trying to manipulate you. And either way, that's someone I don't need to listen to. All right, so here's the key. Don't sleep on this bottom bullet. The market cap, remember that size of the pie? The market cap is actually down. So when people just yell at you about dilution, they're not acknowledging what is the reason this company as a whole, the whole company, is actually worth less now since awesome earnings have been announced, candy has rolled out.
Here we go with the reasoning.
Rolled out with popcorn. That's thousands of doors equivalent. And the strike has ended. Right? So there's nothing that says the company itself, forget how many shares.
There is nothing that says the company itself should be worth less. Is that what he's going to say?
And dilution and all of that. Just Make things simple. There's this saying like, make the crooked path straight. Think straight. Don't get all twisted. Is this company worth less than it was like a month ago? And
clearly to some participants, yes. Yes.
If so, why? What reason would the company be worth less? We've paid off debt. We're going to have...
This is so childish and stupid. What reason? Why do you not think my company is worth more? I deserve to be rich. What the fuck is this bullshit?
Stronger earnings,
Oh my God.
We've rolled out candy. We've rolled out popcorn to Amazon and Kroger.
You sold popcorn and candy before. To the customer, there is no fucking difference. This is the problem with biased thinking and non-evidence-based thinking and and the lack of critical thinking. Because you're thinking about it, wow, look, now we have popcorn, now we have candy. When in reality, no, you always had fucking popcorn. For 100 years, you've had fucking popcorn and candy. And to the customer, they don't fucking care. They don't fucking care that the candy now says AMC brand instead of Nestle. In fact, some people might actually want the original fucking candies. Not everybody wants a generic ass white label product that is probably more expensive than the fucking Nestle was. Like, this is just so stupid, so one-sided, so anti-common sense and business. Like, who's the one who doesn't understand fucking markets here? I mean, for fucking God's goddamn sake. I can't believe I'm having to, I don't have to do it. Don't get me wrong. But if one were to listen to this and try to make sense of what the fuck this guy's talking about and trying to say, and pathetically trying to make an argument about, it's like you have to listen to somebody sit there and say, oh my God, why does the market not think this company is worth more? We've rolled out popcorn. We've rolled out candy. It's a complete inability to think about this from any other perspective. That's really the crux of the issue here. This guy cannot think about this from any other standpoint other than AMC should be worth more money. That's it. That's the only foundation for any of this garbage. Is I think that AMC should be worth more. How can I try to show that? Well, yada, yada, yada. Here we are. But the reality is, here's where the price is. Here's where, and you don't like today's price? Fine. Here's the average price from the last 3 months. Or what the fuck ever. That's where the market, that's where people or institutions or computer programs are willing to buy and sell it. Other than that, everybody's just like hands off. So what you're saying is you should be hands on. You should be buying this. It should be worth more. It should be worth more. How does it become worth more? There's increased demand. Guess what? There's no fucking demand. So what does that fucking tell you? Either every trader in the fucking stock exchange is in a conspiracy to ignore the formula and trade it lower, or fuck the formula. You are ignorant and biased and a fucking terrible grifter. Because I can see how this type of presentation, this type of language, this type of, surface complexity, if you will, superficial. It's like a quasi erudite superficiality that this type of presentation has. I could see how that would fool people. I could see how people would listen to this and then leave the comments that they left, like, thanks for the video, logical, realistic stock analysis. Yes, of course. This is one of the most sensible videos about AMC I've seen for a while. Great presentation with tons of facts. Yes, I can see how people, in particular the kind of people that would watch this video, people who are easily fooled and don't think critically and have no sense of objectivity, would be fooled by this to think, oh, wow, this guy's got his shit together. These are facts. Wow, yeah, clearly it is being manipulated because it should be worth this. He showed it with math. When the whole premise is invalid. The whole notion is invalid. I mean, and I'm not saying that there can't be a calculation. Of course, there can be a calculation, whatever. You can do whatever calculation you want. But to say that this calculation should govern the price that the market will trade it at is just, it's bonkers. Bonkers. And the audacity to sit there and say, well, these people, they're either fudsters or they have no idea how the market works is just fucking absurd. It's crazy. This is terrible. And it's terrible in an insidious way for the reasons I just explained, because I could see how this will fool people. I could see it. So, wow, this is bad. And Lynn apparently is like, wait, what? Yeah, this is this guy doesn't put out many videos, but when he does, they're a doozy.
The strike has ended. There's a lot of reasons. If so, why?
This is just like, listen to this. I mean, this is just so pathetic. If so, why? The strike's over. Why? What the fucking fuck? Are you fucking serious? I cannot believe. Wow. Wow. All right. I'm going to shut up now. I have to.
Why? What reason would the company be worth less? We've paid off debt. We're going to have stronger earnings, a stronger balance sheet. We've rolled out candy. We've rolled out popcorn to Amazon and Kroger. The strike has ended.
That sounds... We're going to have stronger earnings. We got an assumption. Folks, we got an assumption. Yes, it's an assumption based on math. We're going to have stronger earnings. The equation says so. Well, no, it didn't. And wait. What a clown. All right.
There's a lot of reasons for the company to actually be worth more than it was like a month ago. And if so, why? What reason would the company be worth less? We've paid off debt. We're going to have stronger earnings, a stronger balance sheet. We've rolled out candy. We've rolled out popcorn to Amazon and Kroger. The strike has ended. There's a lot of reasons for the company to actually be worth more, not less. Set aside dilution for a minute. Just think about the total size of the pie. Should this pie have shrunk? Because that's what's happened. The pie actually shrunk. People are trying to tell you that's dilution. That's not dilution. That's people, that's the market saying the value of the company is less. And I would suggest that's not a real market dynamic. That is price manipulation causing that. All right, but let's go through math. Let's not make it emotional. Let's not make it opinion-based. Let's just math it. So when we had earnings, we were at 1009. Okay, so I'm going to go from there. Since then, dilution got announced. That 48 million that was sold to get us the cash and the first payment and all of that, that was happening in multiple days. And so we're just going to have to start from when that was announced. So I mentioned there is 29% dilution. So in theory, if you added no value to the company, then your stock should have gone down by $2.90. But we're not down by that, are we? We're down by $4. So how do you explain the rest of that, right? That's that manipulation and fraud, in my opinion. Okay, so that's just dilution. But now, remember, we generated something from the dilution. The dilution is not the end action. It does something. So what did it do? Well, it brought in that $309 million of cash, and it paid off that $123 million of debt, which saves us the 12 plus million a year. So what if we said, remember I said, hey, what about that cost of capital? I gave you that example. So what if we looked at that $12 million of interest savings that you have every year? Now you might say, hey, wait a sec, that debt was due in 2026. But what I'm saying is, I think the market would have said, hey, we're not sure they're going to pay that off. Perhaps they're going to refinance that and have to roll that out. And so I think it's fair to still count out years, future years, and say that interest is no longer going to hit the company's books. And so it's going to be now added to the bottom line, sort of in perpetuity, let's call it. So I'm just going to look at a 20-year horizon. And if we just said, because I've told you in other videos, about this idea of price to earnings, which we're also going to look at in a minute, and being somewhere between 20 and 25 in our industry. So I just said, all right, let's just have a nice round number and look out 20 years. So we use that 12% cost of capital. So I just explained to you a little bit ago, we're going to discount future cash flows. So that 12 million we're saving every year in interest that's getting added to earnings, we're going to go ahead and say, well, it's not worth as much year by year by year. It's becoming worth less and less and less. So what's the value today that should have been added into our stock price is what we're really getting at, of this cash that we generate. Just explained to you a little bit ago, we're going to discount future cash flows. So that 12 million we're saving every year in interest that's getting added to earnings, we're going to go ahead and say, well, it's not worth as much year by year by year. It's becoming worth less and less and less. So what's the value today that should have been added into our stock price is what we're really getting at, of this cash that we generated and of all the savings we're going to have on all the interest. Well, should have been added back into the stock, which means,
oh dear,
even with dilution, we should have been at something like 870. So I'd actually say these debtors are getting a little bit of a discount. But it always depends on what your starting point is. I started from a very high stock price there, not a very high, frankly, it's low historically. But I started from a high point that we've been at lately, but we were there going into earnings, and the earnings delivered. We beat all of Wall Street's expectations. We had our best earnings ever. We beat pre-COVID levels on half the movies.
No, you didn't. You did not have your best earnings ever.
In this company's results.
What the fuck? No, you didn't. You did not have the best earnings. That's what he said, the best earnings ever. See, this is the problem with these stupid fucking superlatives that people like Adam Aaron come out with. Oh, we had the best Tuesday after the worst Monday on a on the week of Passover in an odd numbered year. And then all they hear is we had the best earnings. That's the game of telephone that's being played here. We know this. We've seen it over and fucking over and over. We own the float. Asterisk. Right? God fucking damn it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Not a very high, frankly, it's low historically. But I started from a high point that we've been at lately, but we were there going into earnings, and the earnings delivered. We beat all of Wall Street's expectations. We had our best earnings ever. We beat pre-COVID levels on half the movies. There's just nothing but bullishness in this company's results. So as long as the stock is divergent from the business fundamentals, boy, I see value in this play. And that's why I'm here. Both value and the...
Oh, it's a value play now. Right.
On top of a squeeze play. And that...
Oh, go fuck yourself. No, you don't.
If you said, all right...
What a grifting fuck.
That should have brought this
guy
price down. But
I think...
add back in...
Okay, is this guy a professional analyst?
Saved on future interest.
Is that what he is? Is he actually an analyst?
70 a share. If we used,
But they're usually wrong, first of all. Think about it. The analyst calls, that are just so absurd. This is how you get to him, I think. But anyway, God fucking damn it. He is completely unconvincing. Absolutely.
I showed you in another video that really, especially with any kind of growth, it'd be reasonable to have like a 24-year price to earnings on this stock once we start having positive earnings. If you were to use, instead of 20 years of this discounted cash flow that I just showed you, if you looked at like 24 years of price to earnings priced into the stock, then we should have landed at 952. So that all I'm saying is either one of these methods add some value.
Well, I mean, they had the best earnings ever.
Creation. I'm going to keep hammering that home until the trolls can't FUD you anymore about dilution. Dilution also creates value. Now you see,
dilution does not also create value. I mean, that's not even what he said earlier. He said dilution shouldn't reduce value, shouldn't reduce the price if value is also created. He absolutely qualified that. Now he's saying, we're just to dilution creates value. That's not what was said before. Good God. All right.
That means the stock would be down. But if I was also being real on any other stock that's not manipulated, a non-manipulated stock,
right,
I would say that there's
yes, once we start having positive earnings, but we just had the best earnings ever, right? Not really positive. Yeah. Once we start. So the market should see that AMC, I got it. The market should believe that AMC will soon produce positive earnings results, materially positive, in a way that does actually create value for shareholders, which it currently does not. But you can trick retail investors pretty easily. But I mean, isn't this that's not the problem here. The problem is not retail investors are not able to be tricked or have not been tricked. You're not going to trick Ken Griffin. He who controls all prices. That group of 7 managers, the Magnificent Seven, I think I call them, that decide the price, and then they manipulate the price to those prices. You're not gonna fool them with your formulas. And you should believe in this company because trust me, bro. That's what this is. It's essentially a trust me, bro. What else is there here?
There's a lot of value in terms of a cleaner balance sheet, debt paid off, a stronger company that's been showing moves.
Well, that's just like your opinion, dude.
I'm not showing you even what's the value of the fact that we just expanded popcorn. What's the value of the fact that we just added candy? What's the value of the fact the strike ended? Now, I go through all that in another video. I think it's a couple of videos ago where I kind of say, hey, what's the value of this company? Covered that a little bit. Go there if you want to see both a price to sales and a price to earnings look. I do a whole walkthrough on that. But so I'm honestly kind of almost throwing trolls a bone here, throwing shills a bone, in that I'm doing this far more conservatively than I ought to. So frankly, I don't think our stock should be down at all. But I'm just showing you, even if you want to use just straight up math on only the stock transactions and not kind of thinking about the future value of cash flows from candy and the expansion of popcorn and all that, which we should price in. But even without those, you land at this, either 870 or 950, whichever method you want to use. And then let's not forget, we did pay off debt. If you wanted to add that back in, that's 48 cents a share, just sort of the total value of that debt divided by all the shares. Okay, so the takeaway point is, no matter how you look at it, if you look at a price to earnings view, if you look at sort of the discounted net current value of future cash flows, however you look at this, the fact that our stock is down about $4, even straight up dilution should have made it only be down $3. And adding back in the value means it should only be down like $1 or $2 at the most. $1.
This is really, really
There's nothing
dangerous
logical about the fact that we're down.
to me.
And again, just come back to market cap.
This is
How you get to this, basically this negative.
this is putting ideas in people's heads that I don't really think are productive at all. I mean, this is absolutely not productive in any way. Let me put it in his terms that he can understand, whoever this is, stock retail. You're not creating any value for viewers here, or you're not creating any value at large. Certainly not for market participants. No value's been created here.
Market cap to not have shifted at all.
But, I'm taking a conservative method here and, trying to create or at least salvage some of that and put it back into the bottom line, by blowing this shit apart. That's just that's a public service as far as I'm concerned. So it doesn't really go to the bottom line. However, you could say that if someone actually did think about it and reasoned themselves that this is kind of gobbledygook, it doesn't make sense, and then decides to look at things differently or at least open their mind and start demanding some evidence and proof for some of these things that they're being told, and they end up doing better in the future. Well, maybe that is value that's created. So can we estimate that? Can I say what these live streams should be worth? Can I send a bill to YouTube saying, look, these videos are worth this much because I estimated that this is what he's trying to do? Of course you can't do that.
Then we need to have not gone down as much as we have. So you just ask yourself, if all these things have been rolled out and we just delivered, better than 2019 results on half the movies.
What does that mean?
Just you say that out.
What does that mean? That's a contrived statistic there. Better what? I got to hear that one again.
Then we need to have not gone down as much as we have. So you just ask yourself, if all these things have been rolled out and we just delivered, better than 2019 results on half the movies.
Better than 2019 results on half the movies. That I'm not sure what that means. I don't know. Butt hurt. Well, I mean, I guess it does kind of hurt my not my butt, but I mean, this is so ignorant. Like, it's not a butt hurt. It's a I'm just bamboozled here. I'm gobsmacked at these tactics that are being attempted to pump this fucking thing. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? And like somebody like Joey Garcia, you know, Manuel says AMC lost 90% since last time Joey was here, which we could even be conservative and say 50 to 70%, because I don't remember exactly when it was, because I don't. and somehow I'm the one who's yeah, okay. Yeah.
What you say that?
What is it about this false promise of easy, free money that, like, allows these people to just suspend reality in a very Trumpian kind of, you know, alternative facts universe? That's what we have here. We have an alternative facts cult. Let's be honest about it. That's what we got. I don't know, man. It's crazy. All right.
That out loud, and it doesn't make sense that we're now worth less than we were, right? So that's just painfully obvious. So I just wanted to show you that and continue to reaffirm. You know, if you go through the forecast video I did on Q,
because that's what all the pros do.
Q4 of this year,
average down
year, and I kind of talk through a little bit about future years. You'll hear me talk about we are going to have a strike blip, like that's real. But what's coming is massive gains in profitability for this company. I don't think it's more than a year from now. I think it's, you know, go there and you'll see why.
Nothing in the math even suggested that. Because let's back up real fast. I'm not going to roll the video back, but I'm just going to go back to revisit the concept. Keeps talking about popcorn, keeps talking about candy. Okay, popcorn was done a long time ago. That shit has been priced in, bro. Like, we know all about the popcorn. We know all about the fucking candy. We've known about those things for a long time. We know about the credit cards. And I don't care if like, Joey, like, you're, I mean, need some lube. No, I don't, because I prefer to fuck you dry, bitch. No, you're getting fucked dry tonight. Now, if you have any, I know you don't. So, but just, you know, because it's in my contract with Ken Griffin, I have to say this. If you have some facts that you'd like to discuss that are relevant to the discussion currently in progress, by all means, feel free to present them. Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? Don't answer that, because you won't be doing it for too much longer. Anyway, God damn it. AMC distribution. Oh, yes, AMC distribution.
I think Q4 next year is phenomenal, and why we'll be growing along the way. But
I mean, and this, like, you sound mad. Well, I'm not mad. It doesn't make me mad that you're an idiot. Like, if that made me mad that there were idiots out in the world that don't care or are incapable, you know, I would be miserable. I know better than that. But I mean, what different? Maybe I am mad. So what? Okay, no, you know what? I changed my mind. I am mad. You're right. Joey's right. I'm mad. I'm now mad. So, there you go.
But there's real strike impacts. That happened. That's real. And we're living through that now. Like, we were supposed to have Dune, we were supposed to have Ghostbusters, we were supposed to have Craven. Those were all supposed to be in this current quarter. And we would have been rocking and rolling with a few of those movies added back in. And so it's okay. But the thing is, generally investing is a patient game, and it's a game for the future. And if you're willing to be patient, like what did Warren Buffett say, right? Like the stock market, what did he say? It's like a device for transfer.
I love
the impatient to the
God
patient.
damn it.
I'm going to be patient, and at some point, I honestly believe we're going to break the shorts because this company is going to be delivering the results.
Break the shorts?
It's painfully clear to me. So I'm here. I'm not going. And
that's not investing.
Value play on top of a squeeze.
You're not talking about investing. Like, this is so discombobulated, it's not even funny. He's talking about investing. He's talking about Warren Buffett. Then he's talking about busting the shorts, because he believes that the company will do better in the future. I mean, great. So put your money where your mouth is, I guess. Put in some huge market orders and move the price. Otherwise, I mean, you're just another person with an opinion. Really. And that's nothing to be mad about. But it's the way that this is presented. I mean, pretty quickly abandon the whole, the argument is based on math. Because, all of the math is irrelevant. It's invalid in the sense that market participants are going to come to their valuation in any number of ways. And some people aren't even going to do that. They're just going to buy it because they want to be in that industry. Or they're going to sell it or short it because of trends in another industry or whatever. You trying to figure out why is it's just it is a non-starter, because you'll never know why. You will never know. But you will always have to deal with the results of it. So, if for my money, learning how to deal with the results is much better, because you always have to do that, and you can never know why. So, that's what I personally try to do, and it works a hell of a lot better than 90% down. Since the last time Joey was here. Just saying.
Please play. All right. Finally, I said I would get away from the math and kind of share a few other things. Just real quick, a little bit of a tease on some things I see out there. I've said to be tracking these Bitcoin spot ETFs. It's been real interesting to see that they are becoming kind of a cash-only settlement, not payment in kind, so there's going to be kind of not the option for folks to manipulate as much. They're going to have to come up with the cash. So actually, let's look at the right here. It's something I spelled out today on Twitter. There's a lot more to it, but I was just kind of giving a few sort of, breadcrumb.
What the fuck do I care that it's Christmas weekend? I'm not even fucking Christian. I mean, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's hilarious, though.
Items. If you think about, first of all, I reposted that there are whole countries that are starting to say, hey, we're going to grant people citizenship if they're like large Bitcoin investors. That actually is the third point over there. The first point actually was more about there's whole countries that are starting to talk about Bitcoin being a currency itself, or you even kind of think about it more as a backing to currency, like how gold, would have backed the US dollar.
Oh yes, Joey, I'm getting paid so much right now by Ken Griffin.
What would it look like if Bitcoin
you want to see the check that he wrote me?
And then, like I said, on point 3 there,
working
basically saying,
yeah, maybe
you own a lot,
maybe if you did,
I want to make you a citizen.
Maybe if the apes
signaling something to you
were willing to do any fucking work,
the sovereign nations, 0.1 and 3 is where sovereign
They
tells you a little something.
wouldn't have to
Mentioned having before
literally come and troll.
I dropped that one, I don't know, a month ago or something.
One of the very few people
coming
who's actually been fucking right.
Happened overnight to gold.
I don't need to work.
It was twice.
I don't need to work to be right in this fucking play, bro.
Would drive the value of it up a lot. If it's really, really hard to get something, it becomes pretty precious pretty quick. So that's a drop in supply is how you can kind of think about that. It's not really a drop in supply. It's a drop in future supply. It makes it harder to get, makes it take longer to get. So that generally would push a price up.
This guy sucks.
Basically a demand increase. So if
yeah, well, it's a good thing that markets always follow those equations. Take a look at the market right now and you tell me. Does it mean that it's manipulated? Does it mean that it's being illegally traded? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so that was video number 1. Wow, that was terrible. What a waste of time. Let's do this one here. I need some of this guy in my life.
Hey friends, welcome to Stock Technical Plays. I'm talking about AMC stock. I have breaking news. Conman CEO Adam Aron has diluted AMC stock yet again. What is today? Friday, December 22nd. New 8K, Form 8K SEC document just released. Take a look. Between December 21st and December 22nd, which is today, Friday, AMC Entertainment Holdings Inc., the company, has entered into a series of privately negotiated exchange agreements under which the company's Class A common stock, the common stock in exchange for $27 million aggregate principal amount of its 10%, 12% cash PIK toggle second lien, the company may exchange in similar transactions in the future, but is under no obligation to do so. Based on aggregate principal amount exchange plus $70,000 aggregate
moved on to crypto.
Crude interest then issued had an implied
graduated to crypto, huh?
14 cents.
Congratulations.
So for $7.14 per share, he did a debt equity swap. Another one. I know I did a video on this just 3 days ago where he did one for, I think it was, I can't remember, it was like $33 million or something like that. Like, here's another one for $27 million, equity swap, exchanging debt for stock. So he's diluting the SHIT out of us, friends. And we see the stock go down every single day. We see AMC stock go down and we wonder, why is AMC stock going down? And we see the competitor theaters just going up every day. Our competitor theaters are just going up. The stock's going up every day. And then we take a look at AMC stock and it's going down every day. And we're like, what's going on? They already did a reverse split theft campaign. How's AMC stock continuing to go down every day? What's going on? And then these official SEC documents get released, and now we see what's going on. Conman CEO Adam Aron, and I say Conman, those are my personal opinions. That is what I personally believe. Nothing here is financial advice. Nothing is to be taken as fact. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Disclaimer complete. Having said that, Conman CEO Adam Aron is diluting the SHIT out of AMC stock yet again. Just 3 days ago, he diluted, and I got a new one now, a new SEC document where he's diluted another $27 million of our stocks that he stole from us out of our accounts to pay off debt that should have never been there in the first place. He invested into a fake mining company. I think he lost $25 million there. He did all these horrible bad investments. He paid $25 million to Nicole Kidman to star in a worthless commercial that AMC did. And he paid $70,000 in interest on a $27 million debt that he could have paid off, but instead of giving $25 million to someone he had a crush on, Nicole Kidman. That doesn't even add up the cost of putting the commercial out. That's just her $25 million they paid her to do the commercial. You think someone saw that commercial and said, hey, we need to go in AMC theater right away because I saw this commercial with Nicole Kidman? No, of course not. That was foolishness, recklessness. How is this guy not in prison? This is the biggest theft campaign in the history of the U.S. stock market. And MULN Automotive is a close second. the whole U.S. stock market is corrupt, okay? That's my
Here we go.
Corrupt, rigged system.
So you suck at trading, therefore the whole system is rigged. I mean, I get it. I get it. I understand the impulse to say that. Believe me, I do. But come on. Come on. What are you saying? Huh? What are you saying? Huh?
Now, having said that, AMC is the absolute worst, in my opinion. Imagine if we had a CEO that wasn't a criminal. We'd all be making money right now. Things were so great.
What the fuck?
Came aboard and started his crime. Started his organized crime. You guys know organized crime, you know, like the mafia and stuff back in the day. They had the mafia and all that. It was called organized crime. This
guy is there. Oh man. Hey.
Is what Adam Aaron is doing. He's part of the organized crime unit, okay?
Yeah.
This is a little different. They're not like selling stuff on the street. They're
what are they doing?
Used to commit crime. It's not cocaine, you know, it's not some kind of illegal drug. It's stock, and it's AMC common stock, and they use it to pay themselves. Adam Aaron made $20 million, okay? With your money, with our money. He made $20 million in 1 year last year.
Well, that's how...
Shares,
no.
being foolish with the money. It's just, it needs to stop, okay? It needs to stop. And my job here...
What the fuck is this guy? This guy's got some kind of... Oh my God. This might be the guy that snaps or probably more likely this guy is going to be the inspiration for the guy who snaps. But this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit.
Here at Stocks and Crypto Plays is to expose the crime and to expose the corruption. Everything I say here is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are my personal opinions. Do your own research. Okay, so here is the official...
Do your own research, yeah. And if you do that, you won't be able to substantiate any of this. So I love that they can say that because they know that nobody will. I mean, all right. I've had there's some, go fuck yourself, man. Like, I get it. We like to troll too, but it's just a distraction. It's just a distraction. You had a nice run. You had a good run. Better luck next time, I guess. I don't know.
Released, brand new Form 8K filing.
But I mean, I like to leave people like that around just for a little bit because that's who that Joey is not the intended. Joey was never the intended audience for this channel. I just want to clarify that. It was never intended to minister to the apes. It was never intended to save them. It was never intended to educate them. That wasn't never the purpose of this channel. Now, having said that, it was always thought, let's say, that it could be an intended side effect or consequence that, people might, be inspired to think about it differently or something like that, or hear a different opinion or something like that. But it's always been about exposing these grifters. Because contrary to what he's saying, I'm not working, I'm not getting paid, nor is my channel monetized. So it does kind of, squeeze my lemons that stock and crypto creep here and all these other Muppets are sitting here making money by lying. But crucially, here's the difference. I don't care that you're being lied to. That it's a weird moral gray area, where it's like, you are a piece of shit for doing that. But, I don't care about the effects, sort of. I don't know. Anyway, it's weird. All right.
December 22nd, okay? He's done more dilution, and now you know why AMC stock has gone down yet again. Now you know. And by the way, if you saw my MULN video from earlier today,
according to the retail stock guy, that's not why
again today after going up,
the stock went down, because the stock actually should have gone up on that dilution.
Doubled, and now it's back down another 40% down. And many people on Twitter X are
he should go back
CEO is diluting behind the
to 2021 and do his calculations on the price then, because I'm not so sure that it would indicate that it should have gone up the way that it did. I don't know. Because everything was pointing to much negativity at that point. Hell, the theaters were they even open? I can't remember. So on one hand, it's actually an interesting angle. He's decrying the price because it didn't adhere to what it should have done based on the numbers. But when it did this irrational move before, did it go by the numbers then? And would he have been okay with that? Or would he have also decried that too? Something tells me that he would have been okay with that. There would have been some reason, whether, why it wouldn't have applied then. But just presenting one example poorly, out of context, comparing it to nothing else. Yeah. Anyway, wow. Cross grifter debunking operations.
The scenes. There's no forms that have come out yet, but they're saying he's immediately diluting, and that's why the stock went down. What do you think? Comment below about MULN. If you haven't seen my MULN videos, my last two videos, go on my channel and watch them. Comment on AMC, comment on Adam Aaron. What do you think about him diluting and selling more AMC shares just 3 days later after he diluted? He's diluted again with a brand new Form 8K being released, exposing his dilution. It's awful. It's awful. And, here's my point, friends. He stole our shares to pay this little bit of debt, and he's barely paying any debt, by the way. $27 million is a drop of water in the bucket compared to $5 billion, isn't it? And the thing is, he could have paid this $27 million.
But
instead of paying the
what makes this criminal in this guy's opinion? I don't understand that. He hasn't.
It's one example I'm giving you of all his many failures. It's very disturbing. How is this guy even a CEO? How is he CEO?
Well,
of AMC?
Then you should not be involved with a business that you don't like.
Rich right now, okay? You're
Oh.
rich. I would have had that stock short squeezing. All you need is someone that's not a criminal as CEO, and AMC stock takes off. Simple as that, okay? Simple as that. Talk to you soon. Hit like, hit subscribe, notifications, share the video with a friend. Remember, if you're hitting like, you're supporting our channel. You're not supporting Adam Aaron, okay? Talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Like the video. If you like the video, you're supporting the channel. You're not supporting Adam Aaron. He has to say that? Wow, okay. This is some ridiculous garbage here. I mean, there's nothing to even say. And yes, I'll say it, but I'll say this though. That was a waste of time. Okay. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Nick. Okay. Who is Adam Aaron swapping spit or AMC stock?
Everyone, and thank you for tuning in to hear my trading and market updates. This is Uncle Frank, and I'm not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Please remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed the presentation, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you're alerted when I have new information to share. So now let's get into the latest updates. Hey, welcome back, everyone. It would appear AMC did another stock for debt swap under the radar, so let's start with the first one so we can all keep track of all this activity. Because after all, the best time to give away stock for debt is when you're setting multiple 52-week lows, right, YouTube and Twitter geniuses? All you yes guys that call us shills and insist we have no financial literacy unless we back what Adam's doing blindly, as you do, right? I mean, you really know investment banking and capital market strategies, so the best time to execute these transactions is when your stock has already lost over 90% of its value, correct? Even though we finished the third quarter with $730 million in checking, we should do this right now, right? At these prices, this is what a savvy CEO does, right? Okay, guys, let's start with this one. AMC makes $25 million private deal after cratering 98%. Our meme stocks a buy now. Now, let's get these things straight. On December 19th, the company announced that it's issuing 3.3 million shares to an undisclosed buyer in exchange for $25 million in subordinated notes, a form of that will come due.
My question is, who is this guy mad at?
The stock at $7.47 a share.
Like,
remember that.
That's
a 23% premium to the.
That's my goal for watching this video. Who is the aggressor in his opinion? I mean, I'm thinking it's Adam Aaron, right? Who is Adam swapping AMC whatever with? But like, so I just, it's just so silly. Like, if you don't like what they're doing, then don't remain involved with them. It's really that simple. Or write a letter to whoever, John Merriweather, and say, you know, dear Mr. Merriweather, I hope the weather is merry where you are. It's not here, and blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, can you imagine being mad at the CEO but still holding the stock? Like, the answer is, to all your troubles, just sell the stock and move the fuck on. I mean, and really, shouldn't he be mad at the board of directors? Shouldn't he be mad at the board of directors? Why is he? I don't know. All right.
Current price of 608. That's actually good. Okay, now stick with me. So why are you so suspicious of this undisclosed buyer, Uncle Frank? Well, guys, you deserve full disclosure. You own the company. In fact, I believe the apes own this company 2 to 3 times over. But the people making these deals, swapping your equity for debt, they don't own shit. To be clear, the insiders, meaning Adam, the entire senior management team, and the entire board of directors own less than 0.5%. That's correct. They sold their stock a long time ago.
Well, even if you owned 100% of it, you still wouldn't own the company. So, I mean, there's that. You know, like these guys think that, oh yeah, if I own 51% of the company, I'm going to walk in the front door and with a kitchen sink and, you know, LARP like I'm the you know, controlling director. Like, no, you are the lowest on the totem pole actually of any financial involvement. You're not an owner of the company. You trade the stock. But, you know, whatever. That's what people say. That's the common parlance. You're a par owner of the company. All right, whatever.
For Ape and any reverse split, and now that 2023 is coming to a close, they about to pay themselves some massive stock bonuses. That's right. You see that red arrow? That's the current insider ownership percentage, 0.28%. Now, for those of you that aren't afraid of the truth, on your screen is the insider activity of the past 6 years on AMC's common stock. That's correct. You can believe your own eyes. Adam, his entire management team, and the entire board of directors haven't purchased one single share of our stock in the past 6 years, but managed to sell over $1,065 million worth on the open market. Pay no attention to that one blue buy. That was our old friends at Antara Capital. 2020 was a bad year.
Well,
See Theaters posts 4.58.
yeah, that should tell you that the stock is dog shit, that they're not willing to buy it, and also that it's part of their compensation that they get paid in stock. If Uncle Frank were in that position, he would do the same goddamn thing. Anybody would, because to these people, this is their job, or one of their jobs. So, like, I mean, clearly Uncle Frank is like, you know, regular type of, I mean, it's how he's trying to come across, at least anyway. I don't know if he actually is. I have no clue who this person is. But my perception is he's trying to come across as some kind of regular guy. You know, like some kind of Joe Sixpack type character. So going off that assumption, then, like, what the fuck do I care another Joe Sixpack's goddamn opinion about what somebody in the CEO class is doing? You're not in that class. You're not in that group, socioeconomic group, and neither am I. So why do I have an opinion? You have an opinion. We're both equally as clueless at the end of the day about what the fuck somebody who makes $20 million a year is likely to do or not do. I mean, let's be honest. I don't fucking know. And neither does Uncle Frank. The difference is he's making all these assumptions, putting all this shit out there, somehow, you know, ostensibly to justify why the retail investors who didn't, you know, time the trade right should be rich. But instead, the CEO, who's a member of the CEO class, is, and gets more rich. Well, I mean, I'm not a member of that class, but I'm not, you know, green enough, you know, not to understand on some level that's kind of how it works. And I'm not supposed to be, and he is, at least right now, the way things are. I'm an investor. He's the CEO. CEOs get paid a lot of money. And I could make a lot of money if I am smart with my trading and investing. But I'm not going to expect it. I just don't understand. Like, this thing has snowballed into, I mean, you know, Donahue George likes to talk about the crime of the century. This is the grift of the century, or at least the grift of the decade so far. Jesus. It's the gift of the trailing decade.
20 loss amid pandemic. The cinema giant, led by CEO Adam Aron, also reported a quarterly loss of $946.1 million amid a steep revenue collapse. Well, sure, our theaters were closed some of the year. We were getting less than half of the releases from Hollywood that we did in the previous year. But Adam had a great year. In 2019, his full comp package was $9,671,000. But in 2020, it doubled, $20,926,000. And then $23,716,000. Just keeping it straight. And
isn't it tied to the stock price or the EBITDA or something? that some component of it is. And also, you know, if you sell shares at elevated prices, I mean, like I said, this is the way it works. And there are reasons why he was able to do that. And I'm going to assume, I'm going to make a rare assumption and say, because I don't have any evidence to otherwise, that, you know, his trading and his compensation was probably on the up and up. I mean, we're talking about a public company, you know, that has been involved in multiple lawsuits since he joined the company. So, if he were stealing from the company or the investors, there have been multiple opportunities for that to be found out. And big air quotes here, he's still doing what he did. He's still doing it, air quote. So where does that leave us? So the two choices are Adam Aaron is a criminal and everybody's turning a blind eye to it, or just letting it happen, or they're in on the conspiracy, or they're on the take. But Adam Aaron is a criminal. He's doing all this malfeasance and crime, with all this criminal malfeasance and crime. Or people like Uncle Frank and Donahue George and others are clueless and are just simply describing the way things work, that they have never encountered, they don't understand, they're not part of this world, and they refuse to look at it from any other viewpoint. I would say that's one of the biggest problems in this whole fucking thing. They are never able to step outside of their assumptions, of their pre-held belief. They're anchored to it. They're suffering from the anchoring bias, which then, that's how it starts, and then it morphs into full-blown bag holders dementia. And then, boy, you know, you might be at a truck stop before too long. All right.
And still, we have people like this on Twitter defending Adam Aaron and blaming the people that are calling him out. From Crystal Ball, a key to AMC squeezing is defeating the Adam Aaron bashers. They are affecting sentiment, and it will hold us back when we need the buying power and we have the money ready to buy. We need to make sure we are telling the story accurately and countering the FUD, meaning fear, uncertainty, and doubt. You know, Chris, I've actually used some of your posts, positive posts about the company, in my videos. So, Chris, let me ask you a couple questions. You're telling me if I ran a business you owned, it would be okay with you if I doubled my comp plan while the business was closed during the pandemic? When we were receiving less than half the inventory we were accustomed to, this would all be okay with you. If I were selling your company's stock at all-time lows instead of waiting for the stock to recover, that's all good with Crystal Ball. Chris, I'm not the enemy. Telling the truth about what Adam is doing isn't bashing.
Okay, let's back up here. The compensation package for 2020. When was that decided? I suspect, and I don't know off the top of my head, and I'm not going to look it up, but see, this is a starter. This is like a seedling that I'm going to give the apes here. When was that compensation package decided upon and ratified? I would guess, now this is just a guess, that it was not in 2020. So, to say that he doubled his compensation package during the pandemic when the theaters were closed, while sort of technically correct, in the sense that it took effect, it was it materialized in 2020. The decision was not made in 2020. The decision was made before the events of 2020 unfolded. Therefore, being mad at Adam Aaron because of the way that played out is fucking ignorant. It's actually fucking retarded. Okay? So this is ape logic, which is paradoxically the lack of any logic. You know, I mean, come on. Come on. And that, you know, that's just like, I always say, this shit debunks itself. All you have to do is apply any common sense or critical thinking. That's it. I didn't think about this beforehand. I didn't watch this video. I did not determine that ahead of time. I thought of it on the spot because it was fucking simple. Because it's common sense. It's like, yeah, nothing in corporate America, you know, is decided and then takes effect immediately. Everything has to be approved and go through approval processes and, you know, be voted on and reviewed and all this shit. It takes time. So knowing that, why would and then the same fucking guy's going to sit here and talk to me about dilution and bonds and no. Absolutely not. No. What an idiot. Ah, motherfuckers.
To use your word, it's exposing. These are the facts. Facts are not FUD. I know that you hated the outcome of the reverse split. I know you hated when we had the greatest third quarter in our company's history and then Adam killed the rally before it even started. I am a buyer of AMC, Chris. Those are my receipts.
Killed the rally before it started. Wow, I love that. So you assume that there was going to be a rally. It's not even that he's killing rallies anymore. It used to be that Adam Aaron killed the rallies. Now there's not even any rallies to kill. So Uncle Frank says he killed the rally before it started. That's fucking pathetic. So now we know that there would have been a rally because, oh yeah, the track record of calling rallies has been so good. What the fuck? This is so delusional. Delusional with an S, not delusional with a T. That's what Adam Aaron got you. See, he crucified you with that T of delusion. It's a crucifix. It's an it's an alabaster crucifix around your neck. Okay, anyway.
I'm a supporter of the stock and the company. It's senior management's policies I have a problem with because they help Wall Street and not you and I, the shareholders. Now, before I go on, I want to explain how AMC executives are paid. This is your chief financial officer and treasurer, Sean Goodman.
How many times has he done this? God damn it.
Of $800,000.
I'm just going to skip to different sections here.
These uncomfortable facts. It's completely normal to double your comp plan while your business is shut down and you have no movies to show. That's the right thing to do, like swapping stock for debt once your stock has lost over 90% of its value due to the ape, its conversion, and then a reverse stock split. This is just like when we sold ape to Antara at 65 cents, right? We just don't understand. Remember the guys that told you Adam was playing 3D chess? We're too stupid to figure this out. Ignore how rich the insiders are getting while our stock falls like a dump truck off the Empire State Building. Instead, believe Little Bigums. Believe Shill for real. Believe the Bearded Blunt. They know Adam's secret plan to make us all rich, and you wouldn't understand it. Headline from tonight. Between December 21st and December 22nd, AMC Entertainment entered into a private exchange agreement, this time issuing 3.7 million shares of Class A common stock in exchange for 27 million of its 10%/12% cash last pick toggle second lien subordinated notes due 2026. Okay, so here's the filing, the 8K. Benzinga couldn't wait to put this thing out. You know, they didn't even write a paragraph. I think they just copy and pasted the thing just to get it out as quickly as possible. But let's compare the two swaps. On December 19th, the company announced it's issuing 3.3 million shares to an undisclosed buyer, everything's a secret, in exchange for 25 million in subordinated notes. And we valued the stock at $7.47 a share for this transaction. Now, between December 21st and 22nd, again, we privately negotiated exchange agreements, this time 3,793,000 shares in exchange for 27 million. Okay, we're paying off the same notes, the 10 and 12, cash pick toggle second lien subordinated notes, plus another 70,000 in interest. But this time, the common stock issued had an implied value of $7.14 a share. So much less this time, but we've got to keep track of this. So who is the mystery buyer? Well, it's really not a mystery. I think it's Antara. Let's go back to this old 10Q. On December 22nd, 2022, the company entered into a forward purchase agreement with Antara Capital LP. You'll notice the same language, 10%, 12% cash pick toggle second lien notes due 2026 in exchange for 9.1 million AMC preferred equity units, the ape, the pounce. Today we pounce. So I believe we're settling this up with Antara. So why do I have a problem with it? Actually, I don't. I mean, I would much rather do this at higher prices. But Antara made so much money off of AMC, off of Ape, that they had to return $3.3 million in short swing profits. I just wish Adam Aaron once would treat the shareholders as well as he treated Himanshu Gulati. But Uncle Frank, Antara is our friend. No. I remember back in May when Frank Nez dropped this headline, Antara discloses new massive short position against AMC. From the article, Antara has disclosed a new massive short position against AMC Entertainment. The institution has disclosed a whopping 55 million shares in put options valued at more than 277 million. This is one of the largest short positions ever seen placed against the movie theater chain. Now, you Antara fans should be happy to learn that I guess they made a fortune, because as of November 14th, the 13F, it looks like they closed out all those puts and must have got paid really well. It's like they knew the price was going to go down. So, Uncle Frank, what's your big beef with Antara? Well, guys, they're a hedge fund, a small one, and they're backed by Blackstone. And for some reason...
Didn't everybody know it would go down?
Some headlines from SEC seizes text messages of Apollo Blackstone employees in Wall Street record-keeping probe. Ex-Goldman Sachs Blackstone employee charged with securities fraud for tipping friends about deals. Blackstone faces fraud settlement as DOJ alleges culture of kickbacks. That was this month. Blackstone and BlackRock are being investigated in the SEC's texting sweep. And from June, Scott & Scott investigates Blackstone directors and officers for breach of fiduciary duties. I don't know, guys. I just
so what?
Better than Antara.
Who cares?
Now, here's an interesting headline from Barron's today. Nomura lost $2.9 billion in the Archegos collapse. A suit alleges there were warning signs. So, Uncle Frank, why do we care about Nomura? Well, they're a big hedge fund listed among our short sellers, and as of mid-November, had 635,000 puts against AMC. Do you know who just left the list of short sellers? Bank of America and on.
Why is he talking about these put holders? That's not short sellers. That is not fucking short sellers. Well, I'll tell you why he's talking about them, because he doesn't have anybody else to talk about, because you don't know who it is. Funny that he's pissed that we didn't know who it is. Yeah, he doesn't understand derivatives, it's for sure. Yeah. I don't know what any of the BlackRock and Blackstone stuff has to do with AMC. And then at the end of that little segment, he said something about Antara. Like, well, it didn't mention Antara at all in any of those things. That was mentioned because they had a put position on AMC, which is, again, is not a short position in terms of borrowing shares. So, nor does it create synthetic shorts or anything like that. So I don't understand. There is no connection, probably, except there's a conspiratorial, undertone. That's the connection. There is no connection. So suggest conspiracy. It's weak,
which tells me
and stupid.
Its conversion and subsequent reverse split did exactly what it was designed to do: an exit plan for the shorts. And for my Canadian subscribers, someone please tell Dominic Pantaleo that the hedgies are coming after the loonie. Speculators are ramping up their bearish wagers on the Canadian dollar, lifting net short positions to
who fucking cares?
5 years, according to a supporter.
Oh,
I don't know what is.
Let's hear his grift on this.
FTC. No one.
Why didn't the market price in candy?
Safe. Guys, I may hate senior management and its nefarious activities and policies, but don't be fooled. I still love the company and I like the stock. I posted my buys to Crystal Ball in this video. I bought both days we set new 52-week lows. If that's not a supporter, I don't know what is. Not financial advice or advisor. I'm heading to the Barrington, Illinois AMC this weekend to see a movie and to see if the new candy line is available.
Oh boy.
Plus Million Apes hit the
what a
theaters
supporter.
A couple more times before the new year. Maybe we can get the big number over $9 billion for 2023 and ruin all the press's hit pieces they have ready for us.
Yes, you're $12.50 for a children's ticket and $18 for adult and you're $8.50 for a half-ounce bag of dark chocolate grasshoppers is going to push you over $3 billion. I can feel it.
For my last slide, I want to show you guys something none of the analysts for AMC will ever say. You'll never see this in the financial media. Here's the one thing no one wants to talk about. In 2019, we had 910 releases. We averaged 12.4 million per film. In 2023, we've only gotten 572 so far. Our average, 14,875 per release. Now, you give the theaters 900 releases in a year and an average of 14 million per film. That comes to 12.6 billion. That beats 2019 by over $1 billion.
But that's not that. But that's God. But if you had that many releases, you don't know what your total gross would be. Now that's what you should be looking at. I think the fact that in 2019 you had more releases and you had more gross income, and these years you had fewer releases and you had less total gross income. That seems about right to me. And what this is indicating is, wow, yeah, 2020 was the worst year because of the pandemic and lockdowns. 2021 was better. 2022 was a little better. 2023 was slightly better. But, you know, to mix and match these numbers here seems wrong. And it's again, it's an abuse of average. It's an abuse of the average. That this is the same thing that it's a similar thing is what they try to do with these share counts. It don't work like that. That is literally not. That is not the point of an average. You cannot work backwards like that. Sorry, take a fucking freshman statistic course.
Okay, that's what I'm in this for. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please.
Hey, I want to thank you for what. All right, that was number 3. We're gonna have to do shorties here. Get shorty. God. Look at all this crap. Remember, it's all fake. Remember, it's all fake. Yes, MOAS is fake. So that'll be number 4. And, next to 100X, well, we're going to have to do that, assuming it's in English, which it may not be. That'll be number 5. Okay, here we go. Remember, it's all fake.
It's all fake. Fake self-reported data. Fake shares they sell. Fake price action. Fake media. It's all a distraction to confuse you and make you want to quit. But if you dig into the data and do the DD, you know exactly what's going on here. Here's an awesome challenge for all the apes. Challenge.
Okay. Wow. That was succinct. Remember, it's all fake. No. Self-reported data. It's not self-reported. Self-reported by the lenders, not the borrowers. If it was self-reported by the borrowers, that would be retarded. Our market is retarded, but it's not that retarded. Fake shares they sell, you got no proof of that. Fake price action, I mean, you can debunk that with a time and sales window. Fake media, I mean, you may be onto something there. But I don't see how it's fake shills and YouTubers. Yes, like that goddamn Scoot Alkin, I think is his name, or Skip Aileron. I think Skip Aileron. Whatever. He's a shill. He's a fake shill. Fake shill. What? A fake shill. So shill is, you know, the double agent type, but if they're a fake shill, does that means that they are masquerading right? As a shill,
Media, it's
but
all
not really a shill.
confuse you to make you want.
Yes, I'm a fake shill.
If you
then.
dig into the data and do the DD, you know exactly what's going on here. Here's an awesome challenge for all the apes.
Yes, you're getting fucked.
Recruit at least one friend this week to get on Twitter and join
Look at that.
the community. I'm going to try to
Look at that.
friend. He's been a shareholder for years. If we
That
can get
is
these
a
step forward, we can really increase our power.
sign of a cult right there.
One of the crucial catalysts. How
We need more new people.
stand up and become a part of what they really believe in. It is crazy that
Oh, talking about what you believe in.
investors that do own shares of AMC stock.
Join the
It
cult.
seems like the community, although it is very large, still could be so much larger. If some of those silent apes step up,
Wow.
let's try to keep growing this thing. Shorts must cover, and here's why. A short thesis is literally overdue to the following 3 simple facts. AMC number 1, popcorn in supermarkets next quarter, which is going to explode.
What are you talking about?
this
It's
alone?
already been in this. Yes, that's already priced in. Thank you. Okay.
And that extra income stream is going to be so much fun to hear about come earnings report. Number 2, lots of box office scheduled this year. I've seen the calendar and movies coming out.
Oh yeah, lots of box office hits, except for all those that aren't going to be done because of the writers and actors strike.
If
Okay.
you guys haven't yet, check them out. There's some bangers. Number 3, some additional capital raising. Number 4,
Yeah, you're going to have to check them out because of the recession. You're not going to have much else to do or be able to afford.
heights above that of VW. So in short, the shorts must cover
What?
or endure substantial losses. Tell
What? Apes continue by a hole until the MOAS reaches heights above that of VW. Yes, because Porsche is going to cut. I mean, Disney's going to buy. God damn it.
the shorts must cover or endure substantial losses.
Well, what if I told you that's what they've been doing, but they. What if I told you that they have been doing the first thing while avoiding the second thing and, in fact, making a lot of money? They make a lot of money. They make a lot of money.
It's rigged without telling me the market is rigged. Now, this honestly just makes me really, really frustrated. Look at the way the AMC stock has traded over the past year.
It should make you frustrated that you didn't trade it well. It should also make you frustrated that you're still talking about that now and not, trading in a different way. Right? I mean, that would be frustrating to me. Hell, it's frustrating to see all of this attention on such dumb, weak-ass shit. And, that's important because what you surround yourself with oftentimes, gets kind of wrapped up into what you're doing. In other words, wouldn't you want to be around people that are trying to do better, improve, and go beyond what they've already done, not try to revise something, a mistake from the past that you can't revise, you can accept and move on and learn from, which is kind of what I guess we're supposed to do in life. So this is counterproductive. It's all counterproductive. We know that. Yes, of course, we know this. I believe it's counterproductive for these grifters too, like Benji and all these guys. I think, it's not really a matter of faith. I mean, I think that clearly some of these people have crossed some lines. The SEC is running behind, but I don't care about transparency rules for short selling. I could give a flying fuck because it's an invalid strategy in my opinion anyway. That's what gave rise to all of this, was this invalid belief and attempt to whatever, manipulate the market. But what I would love to see is some of these social media jackasses have some, a little disgorgement of ill-gotten gains here, a little, 5-figure fines here or there, sprinkle that in here and there. That would be good. That would be a net positive for society. That would be, let me use the words of the first guy, value created.
With some change, and look at what happened every single time. Basically every single time AMC has some good news, a catalyst, or anything of the such, it rockets up in price, and the price action goes crazy. But what happens shortly after? It's halted. And it's halted to protect investors, they say. But look at what happens every single time. If AMC was just allowed to trade like other stocks in the market, could you imagine what the price would be?
It's not allowed to trade like other stocks in the market. Apparently there is a special rule on AMC that halts it whenever it starts running. Did you know that? God, this guy's so fucking brain dead. I don't know if he believes this shit or not. I don't even care. I don't even care. It's like, this is some of the worst.
To go through.
This is a classic. This guy is one of the classic terrible grifters from this whole phenomenon.
To those of you that are worried about what the peak will be when we squeeze, I'll have to say,
oh my God.
Oh
my goodness. What's he doing reading tweets from fucking August 2022?
Numbers like 20, 50, 100K. It's possible. I want you guys to comment down below if you're still in this play, which a lot of you guys are.
No.
Hello, friends. Right. Today I have taken very good stock for you.
Oh, what a great one for number 5. Wow, I did it. You know what? I'm going to pull a Federal Reserve and do my victory lap as I'm starting the first video. You get it? It's a little Fed humor. Okay. We did it. We got through 5.
Good returns in coming days. Yes, all of my friends, that stock is AMC Entertainment Holdings Inc. stock. Friends, AMC stock now trading at $6.07 USD. Level on December 22nd. Friends, if you want, you can invest now on AMC stock and you can earn good profit in coming days.
Wow.
Friends, AMC.
This was supposed to be sent to the Nigerian scammers call center, I think, instead of to the YouTube AI bot to post it on YouTube. Or they got the scripts mixed up with the Microsoft support technical department. But I'm curious here. $292. That's a lot. Oh, that's the target. Wait. Okay, hold on.
AMC Entertainment Holdings Inc. company market cap is $1.505 billion. Friends, AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated, through its subsidiaries, engages in the theatrical exhibition business. The company owns, operates, or has interests in theaters in the United States and Europe. AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated was founded in 1920 and is headquartered in Leawood, Kansas. Friends, AMC Entertainment Holdings Incorporated company related to communication services sector and its...
What in the fucking hell is this? Jesus.
Number of employees working on this company is above 2,500 and the company is headquartered located on Leawood, Kansas, United States. Friends, you can clearly see on the chart of AMC stock the higher price was made on June 18, 2021. Price was $230.68 USD. Now AMC stock available in a very cheap rates, and here is very big opportunity for investment on AMC stock because from here bounce back chart pattern appearing now. Yes, all of my friends, in AMC stock bounce back chart pattern began now, and after few days. AMC stock can give a very huge sharp up move rally from this level, so all of my friends, if you want, you can take a position now on AMC stock and you can earn good profit in coming days. Friends, you can buy AMC stock as a cash segment and just take a delivery of AMC stock in your demat account.
He just will not
hold for next
stop
1 or 2
here.
years. Friends, after 1 or 2 years, AMC stock can be traded at $292 USD level. So all of my friends, if you want, you can take a position now on AMC stock and you can earn good profit after few years.
What?
Friends, if you have not subscribed my YouTube channel, please subscribe now. Because
I hope this whole thing is AI generated from top to bottom.
In Coming's days, so all of my friends, please subscribe.
I mean, if that's the case, then I'm actually a little bit impressed. Wow. So we're to this point in this thing now where we have this automatically generated content popping up about AMC. Wow. I mean, okay. So I'm going to provide a Christmas bonus in the form of another video, but this one is more motivational. This one is more aspirational. This one is more badass, let's say. You know, and you kind of have to adjust the, you know, kind of adjust context here a little bit. And, you know, say, all right, different sector, different industry, you know, different time, different cultural setting. But the point being, taking responsibility for your success, I guess, you know, making the decision, following through with it, and opening yourself up and learning from somebody who has been successful in whatever the field is, whether it's, you know, this or that. So without further ado, finance chat link in the description. Like and subscribe to the channel, the video and channel, whatever, all that stuff. Because, you know, yeah, it's good, I guess, to do that. Anyway, so without further ado, here is one of the premier Platinum Circle supporters of this channel, going back to the mid-'80s, Mr. Tom Vu, with some words of wisdom. See you on the next live stream.
My techniques of how
Take care.
to make a lot of money.
The Tom Vu method differs from others in that his system teaches you how to make money in real estate immediately and enjoy life right away.
I know some of you are thinking, my seminar is the same like everybody else's seminar. My seminar is not the same like everybody else. My course is copyrighted. It means no one else is allowed to teach my unique course. Plus, my system can show you how to put money in your pocket in real estate right away.
Tom Vu says a key to making quick money in real estate is to know how to deal in distressed properties. He says you can locate money-making properties every day.
This is another house I just bought. It's worth $500,000. Using my own technique, I pay only $285,000. I make $215,000 on this house. What can you do with $215,000? You can take 10 trips around the world, send 4 or 5 of your kids to go to college, or you can even buy a Rolls Royce. Come to my seminar. I show you how to make all kind of money. Here's a secret for you to make millions. Very simple. Learn how to do your first real estate transaction. Make a small profit, and after that, don't quit. Keep repeating the...
This is what I mean. Just adjust it to trading. Learn how to make a profit, a small profit, and then grow from there. You're not going to make it all in one transaction. You're not going to make it all in one hand of poker. You're not going to make it all in one trade or one job or 1 year even. So the more that I've seen this clip, you know, the more I'm able to bullshit these type of connections. That's being honest. But, you know, I do think that, you know, there are some parallels. Anyway, just interjecting because This echoes what another wise Tom Sosnoff has said before about trading being one of the great scalable businesses, one of the most easily scalable businesses or lines of commerce, whatever. Because if you can be profitable on 2 contracts, then you can be profitable on 20 contracts, and you're going to make a lot of money on the 20 contracts or whatever. So anyway, also gotta love a video that's 4 minutes and 20 seconds long.
Same successful process many
Funding secured.
times over. You become very wealthy. Here's another example how easy it is you can make a lot of money. Take a look at this house, my friend. It's worth $500,000. I pick it up for $285,000, making $215,000 profit. If you can do about 10 deals like this, the way I'm about to show you, you can retire multimillionaire. People say that I'm a genius, but I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm only a lucky boy who found a genius money-making system. In the last 5 years, many of my seminar students have applied my system and also make a lot of money. Let me take you to an actual real estate closing where you will see one of my students apply my technique, about to walk away with a nice check profit. I invite you to come to my seminar, learn how to make a lot of money. Once you have a taste of a good life, you will never go back. I didn't have all this at first. I started with nothing, less than nothing. In just a few years, I made a fortune. I have everything I ever wanted. You can do the same.
You got to admire
if you know my
starting with less than nothing.
You don't need a credit. You don't need money. You don't even need a college degree to get started. If you have a desire, get the guts, come to my seminar. Let me show you how.
I know lots of you out there are skeptical. In my hand, framed, is a check for $203,029.32. I net in one transaction, one deal. This is a net check.
I know after watching me and my student making a lot of money, you got excited and you want to go to my seminar to learn how to make millions yourself. And a lot of your friends will tell you, don't come to the seminar, it's a get-rich-quick plan. But tell them, it is a get-rich-quick plan because life is too short to get rich slow. If someone trying to discourage you, my friend, take a look at them from head to toe. If they are nothing, stay away from them. You want to learn from success, not failure.
You see these checks in my hands?
Boom.
I did it. The fact is, lots of people are making money all over the country, starting with nothing. If you don't know how, the seminar will show you exactly how.
I never forget what my grandfather told me. There are 2 kinds of people in life, the
Listen up.
and the loser. Which one are you? Are you sick and tired of where you are, working hard for years for nothing? Are you excited about watching my student make...
He kind of reminds me of
You know, many of these people started out with little...
Jin Yang from Silicon Valley.
You have the guts to step out of where you are to achieve your financial...
In this younger state here,
My
right?
3 hours success and real estate investing seminar.
All right.
The cover charge for this seminar is not $1,000. It's not even $500.
I think
Not
that's
even $100. The cover
a wrap.
is free. Free. And if you're not willing to spend three
free
hours to learn from a self-made millionaire to maximize your opportunity, you deserve to be broke.
Agreed. Good night.